Sugar is a killer. I explained it to you in the beginning. Here's what it looks like in reality, right? Sugar consumption just in the last, since 1983, and this one only goes up to the year 2000. Look at that. I mean, it's just rocketing. This is what the average person eats. These are all those 5-pound bags.
That's just from the 80s?
Yeah, that's from the 80s to 2000. You think it's more or less now? So it's insane that the mayor of New York would say, put restrictions on how much soda. I get it. I mean, that is kind of stupid. I mean, it's like, it's not going to solve anything. It's not like you got some punch card or something yet,
Yeah,
your little RFD chip, I'm sorry, you've gone over your limit. Drop the soda, back off. But here's what it looks like in reality. This is the average person's consumption of soda per year. But look, I've shown, some of you have seen when I do the demonstration between an Arizona iced tea and a Coke. Do you remember which one had more? The Arizona iced tea has more. So, so we give Coke and McDonald's and all these, we bash them. And it's just because they're the big names. But it doesn't matter. I mean, put whatever you want. You put whatever label on it you want. But here's the reality. If you just look at how much sugar is just in fruit. Just when you go, oh, well, I'll just give them a lot of grapes. I just let my kids snack on fruit all day. And we wonder why they're fat. Look, it's amazing to me how many vegetarians I go, hey, we need to talk about your diet. Oh, no, I'm a vegetarian. I got a really good diet. And I'm going, how come you're 300 pounds? God bless you. How come you got jacked up joints and diabetes if you're, and it's not. You're not a vegetarian. You're a fruitarian. You're a grainitarian. You're still a sugaraholic, right? And that's why the high protein stuff works, right? Because you can only eat so much at a meal. And protein tends to kind of take up more space than grains. So people go, oh man, you lose a lot of weight on these high protein diets. It's not the high protein that's doing it. It's the low carbs. It's the lower amount of simple carbs, right?
Is that blueberries?
Blueberries. Blueberries, and that's so 7 grams of sugar in a cup versus 23 grams of sugar in a cup of grapes. Right?
Where does pears?
That's the kiwis. Yeah.
Is that kiwi?
Apples was on there too. Look, you guys, just fruit, all right? Just I don't know, Inspector Clouseau. Was it a 32 caliber gun that blew his brains out or a 44? Yeah, good question. I'm funning with you. But yeah. All right, well, so this is the one I always get. Because they go, so when you say no grains, do you mean like whole grains? Well, I don't know. It depends on what the definition of is. Welcome to the Clinton era, right? Here we go. So here's a whole grain of grain, right? A whole grain of grain. So it's still got the bran, that's the fiber. It's got the germ, that's the nutrients, and the rest is endosperm. By weight, it's 80% or more sugar. So even if you have the wholest of whole grains, it's 80% sugar. Oh, but I buy kashi, which is still organic sugar. Well, I buy the multigrain bread, which is still organic multigrain sugar. But my doctor says, oh, you mean the guy that smokes, is overweight, and takes about 5 medications himself? Hey, yeah, I know, God can make a jackass talk too. It's still sugar. It's still sugar. Doesn't matter. Grain is grain. It's sugar. Anyone else? What about your oatmeal? I heard it's good for the heart. Can we do this all morning? I can riff it off. Sugar. I get it. Look, I get it. We're indoctrinated. We've been indoctrinated. And for us as Christians, isn't it funny you put a Bible verse on something, all of a sudden it's better? No wonder an unbelieving world just goes, you guys are funny. It's a shit. Christian. I love it. Look, as far as bread goes, it's a better bread choice. It's still bread. Pasta. When I was growing up, I wanted to marry me a big, fat Italian woman. I love Italian food. Oh, man, I love it. And I would fill the plate like 2 or 3 times, you know? I'm the master of the spoon and the fork spin. Garlic bread to sop it up and go until you're just like uncomfortable. I love it. But here's the reality. To give you an idea of what a serving of pasta is, everybody hold your hand like you're holding a baseball, a hard ball. Not a softball, a baseball. Half of that is a serving of pasta. That was one of those fork spoon things.
Yeah.
One bite was a serving. One serving of pasta is enough to cause your pancreas to kick out insulin, which is enough to fry your body, right? We learned that in the beginning. It would take 16 cups of broccoli to equal the calories that kick out that insulin in one serving of pasta. You know, when you eat healthy, it just, you're going to be hungry all the time. I'd challenge you to suck down 16 cups of broccoli at a sitting. You might be able to do it, but you're going to be like Cool Hand Luke. And yet this is considered a nutritious breakfast for our kids. Yeah, just dump some more of that syrup on there. We're going to go play soccer. You got to carb up. Great. And when they call you at 35 and they've had their first heart attack and they got type 2 diabetes, macular degeneration, hey, man, you can just go, remember those good old days when we used to go out for breakfast, have some donuts before church, and then go get us a big Denny's Grand Slam? Weren't those great days? Look, if you don't like coffee, don't drink coffee. If all you want is jacked up sugar stuff, just bypass it and go get the Monster. So my point on this slide is it sneaks in. It sneaks in. They did a study, and it's just a mathematical thing. They look at the kilocalories in one Jelly Belly jelly bean. If you don't change anything about your lifestyle, your diet stays exactly the same, your current activity levels stay exactly the same, you ate one Jelly Belly jelly bean a day, by the end of the year you'd be 10 pounds heavier. And we go, my metabolism's slowing down. No, your fork is speeding up. You're eating because you're bored. Tim, you and I were talking about this. There's a book called Mindless Eating, and one of the things they did in it was they took a little bowl of M&Ms and they put it right next to the person's mouse hand. Another person, they put it on the upper left-hand corner of their desk, and another person, they put it on the file cabinet across the room. Who do you think ate more? I mean, it's not like this is rocket science, right? But the difference was dramatic. They just kept coming in and refilling them. And the person that had it by the mouse, they would eat it empty. So long as you kept refilling it, they would eat it empty. The person on the upper part was about 30% less likely to do that. And if they put it across the room, they didn't eat them at all. Even though they knew they were there. So most of us eat out of convenience and habit. So an easy suggestion for you to start changing this is put everything in really small packages. Really small packages. The average dinner plate in the 1950s was 9 inches. We call that a salad plate now. Because the more you have to get up and have the consciousness, and don't put all the food on the table. Serve it in the kitchen on the plates and bring it out like a restaurant and put it on the table. Or in front of your TV, the modern American family eating place.